Hello everybody, this is Starman and welcome back to Let's Play Gabriel Knight, the 20th Anniversary Edition. Well, last time we found out that our new girlfriend is the leader of the voodoo cartel that is responsible for making New Orleans such a terrible place to live, and is also trying to kill us. And that she is also the ancestor of this witch, who our ancestor fell in love with and betrayed his sacred vows in order to help, and well, everything is kind of up in the air since then. So first things first is to call our uncle and figure out where we go from here.
Didn't Grace say you had to dial 011 first to get international?
Oh, for the days when you had a smartphone and you could just hit redial.
Guten Tag, Sie haben Schloss Ritter erreicht.
This is Gabriel Knight. Can I speak to Wolfgang, please?
Ja, Herr Knight. Einen Moment bitte.
Gabriel, it's so good to hear your voice. I had such a dream last night.
There's a good reason for that, Uncle Wolfgang. We need to talk.
Gabriel fills in Wolfgang on the events of the previous evening.
It's even worse than I thought.
We have to talk about what I should do.
And nice little touch here, his face is hidden in shadow because we don't know what he looks like. And we can ask him about everything on the list, and I think we'll go ahead and do that.
Tell me about yourself.
I hope there will be time for that later, Gabriel, after this is all over. For now, we must deal with the matter at hand.
And not a bad bit of voice work here for Wolfgang. In the original game, he was voiced by Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. with a German accent, which you might be familiar with him. He's a rather famous actor. Although the thing I think most of my followers would be most familiar with is he was the voice of Alfred the Butler for most of the episodes of Batman the Animated Series, doing a British accent.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
My library contains many books on the occult and religions, and I have read about some particularly evil voodoo cults. But you, at this point, have more direct experience than I.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
I only know what you have told me. They seem to be very similar to the killings in Gunther's journal.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
It sounds as though you have learned much during your investigation in New Orleans. Perhaps you will fill me in when we have a chance to sit down and talk.
What are we doing now?
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
It was just another American city to me until I started dreaming about you. Now I feel it's not safe for you there. I wish you would leave.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I have not studied the subject. I have an intense dislike for them.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I'm afraid I've never...
Alright.
Do you know anything?
No, I'm afraid not.
I've heard rumors of a secret downfall here in New Orleans.
Yeah, I am sure they have a temple there. Would probably a very elaborate one. You should not go near it, though. Not alone.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
Yeah, Tetanus people wear animal masks for their rituals, don't they? It is not at all uncommon. Many occult groups are based heavily on animal totems. Animals have such pure, primal traits. Spirituality, good or bad, is about reaching these pure levels. Aggressive and cunning like the snake. Agile and nurturing like the monkey. Even our family is associated with the image of a lion.
Do you know anything about veves?
It is a visual symbol of one or more Loa. Each Loa has its own sign, which is used to summon it.
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
Damballa is a snake. He is a Loa, a voodoo god.
Yes, he's one of the primary Loa of the Getty tribe.
Ah, I see. Good work. That information might prove useful.
Does Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
It is a voodoo Loa, is it not?
Yes, a particularly nasty one, so I understand. Have you come across anything about it in your research?
He seems to be feared by most voodoo groups. That's all I know.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
My library contains many books on the occult and religions, and I have read about some particularly evil voodoo cults. But you, at this point, have more direct experience.
Right.
Do you know what kabu...
No?
It means goat without horns. It's a term used for human sacrifice in voodoo.
Well, let's hope we can avoid any more of that in this family.
Foreshadowing alert.
Do you know anything about Rada drums?
Rada drums? You mean ceremonial drums?
Yes. The Getty tribe uses drummers around the quarter as relay messengers to keep track of their business.
Ah, so drums have a ceremonial use too. It would be useful to know their code, Gabriel.
I had Grace find some information on them.
I can see you already have the mind of an investigator. I hope it serves you well.
Yeah, we don't get much new information out of this conversation, but it is nice to see Gabriel and his uncle bonding for, and him praising the fact that Gabriel actually is a natural at this.
What can you tell me about Schottenjägers?
Of course, I sometimes forget how little you know of the family, Gabriel. I never understood how Heinz could allow his sons to remain ignorant. But now is not the time for that discussion. Schottenjäger is really two words in English, Gabriel. Schotten means shadow, and Jäger means hunter.
Shadow hunter?
Yes, shadow hunter. We Ritters have been Schottenjägers for many centuries. No one is sure when it began or how, but we have records of ancestors as early as the 13th century fulfilling this role. Some believe that the role was given us when... but such fantasies cannot be of use to you at the moment, Gabriel. Most people are completely blind to the fact that evil does exist. Shadows of darkness, spirits, vampires, witches, demons, these things are real. It is to their advantage that the world has become so scientific, so cynical. But we know they exist, Gabriel, and we hunt them.
How do we hunt them? And why?
Why? Because it is our duty. As for how, that is something you will have to learn. But it's not easily explained over the phone.
Tell me about Tetelo.
Well, from your description of the ritual last night, I'd say that Gunther's mistress, Tetelo, is now the primary Loa for the Getty tribe. It seems she still controls them by possessing her female descendants and speaking through them. You remember in Gunther's journal he said that Tetelo was possessed by her father's Loa during the killings in Charleston. This sounds similar, but Tetelo has obviously become a much more powerful Loa than her father ever was. Probably because of the added power of the talisman.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Tetelo?
I believe she truly loved Gunther. After all, she was raised to be her father's daughter. The religion was not a choice she made, but a duty she endured. How can she be blamed for that? The spirit that she has become, that is a different matter. It is utterly evil. I am certain that the Loa Tetelo bears little resemblance to the woman she was before the burning in Charleston. She was once a beautiful and intelligent woman, And she probably did not deserve Gunther's betrayal.
Probably.
But the Tetelo we fight now is more akin to her tribe's dark gods than to anything human in nature.
Let's talk about the talisman.
I myself have only seen it in old sketches and paintings, and in my dreams. It was in the family for centuries before Tetelo took it. It is believed to be as old as the role of Schottenjäger itself. The talisman has genuine power. I don't know how or why, but it is so. The Schottenjäger swore to use the power for good, never for evil, for defense, not offense. We've been searching for the talisman for years. It's a terrible thing to know that something powerful that was entrusted to us is in the wrong hands. With the talisman, Tetelo has all the power and we none. The only possible way to fight her is to regain the talisman. Then we will at least be on more equal footing.
How can we regain the talisman?
The talisman is probably buried with Tetelo's remains. That's what gives her Loa so much power. To find the talisman, we must find her remains.
Okay.
Is there anything else you can tell me about the talisman?
The most important thing about the talisman is that it be once again in the hands of the Schottenjägers.
How would we find Tetelo's remains?
We have pondered that question a long time, we Ritters. There are two probabilities. The first is that her remains are with the tribe in New Orleans. The other is that the remains were returned to a sacred place near the tribe's original homeland. We've tried to locate Tetelo's African homeland, but Gunther says so little in his journal about her tribe, and slaving records are practically non-existent. As for the other idea, we had no clue that Tetelo's people were in New Orleans until now.
How would we
We must locate...
Let's discuss the possible African homeland.
All right. Have you learned anything that might help us locate it?
I spoke with Professor Hartridge, unfortunately for him. He thinks the tribe's name was Agree, and that they live near the Fawn tribe in what's now called the People's Republic of Benin.
This is incredible, Gabriel. I must go research this new information in my library right now.
Wait, what should I do?
Stay low. If you get a chance, you might look into the possibility that Tetelo's remains are somewhere in New Orleans. But don't try to broach their private areas without my assistance, Gabriel. You will make a fine Schottenjäger, but only if you are not dead.
Sure. I'll wait.
Goodbye then, Gabriel. And remember, if you need a place of safety, come to Schloss Ritter.
Okay, so clearly we are not supposed to go do anything without Uncle Wolfgang's help. But he's not coming here, and we're absolutely not supposed to go approaching their holy places or burial sites without him. So of course that's what we're going to do. Oh, but first things first. One thing I did not pick up in here when I cleaned out my room on day one.
I might need a flashlight.
And unlike 90% of all Adventure Gaming flashlights, this one actually works. Gabriel got the flashlight free in the mail when you order a magazine subscription. It works, though, at the moment. Yeah, we're not going to have to do some second puzzle to go and find fresh batteries for it. And let's go ahead and read the newspaper. Life is stranger than fiction. Times dated June 24th, 1993. Nothing in about the Voodoo Murders case in the paper today. Gabriel finds a humorous tidbit under the Life is Stranger Than Fiction column, which is on the front page for some reason. Apparently there are reports of ghosts in Bayou St. John last night. Various people called the newspaper with stories about hearing strange noises and seeing weird lights over the swamp. Some books claim it's the ghost of Marie Laveau. The paper relates it to similar illusions that crop up every Halloween. Gabriel knows better. Gabriel's horoscope today reads, "Wise is the warrior who knows when to fight and when to get the hell out of Dodge."
God help me, I'm actually starting to listen to this guy.
Okay, so we need to start looking at a way of getting out of town, but as has been tactfully pointed out, we can't afford to fly to Germany.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Do you have messages for me?
I've given everything to you.
Okay, so nothing there. So, back to the cemetery. Because we know where the Gede tomb is. And by happy coincidence, the plate for it is unlocked. Gabriel hears the faint sound of breaking glass.
Damn, you'd think there'd be a light.
Okay, so let's go ahead and look. Gabriel can't see anything in the dark. Well. Alright, so now we can look around a little bit. There's broken glass on the floor. Someone's broken the light in here. No wonder it's so dark. Let's see, looking at the back wall. Crypt drawers line the back wall. And there is an ossuary. This wall is covered with decorated skulls, an ossuary shrine to some of the Gede ancestors.
Ugh, I hope no one ever builds me a shrine like that.
The plaque on the door has an etching of the Veve on it, but no name. And yeah, we can look at it and see each of these have the names of various female Gede ancestors on it. And in the original game, you could just open the middle drawer up. Okay, I can't take the drawer. This drawer is locked, so here's another puzzle they threw in for the special edition.
I think I know what happened to the men in the family now. Huh. Some of these look loose.
And yes, there is in fact a diagram down here that shows what we're supposed to do. Ironically, the combination here is the pattern used for making the Catholic cross over yourself. So we start with spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch.
Hey, one of the drawers popped open.
So let's go ahead and bust that open.
Mosley. Shit, I dropped my flashlight. Huh? Ouch. Oh, my head. What the hell was that?
Alright, well, let's check the drawer. And we'll see, well, Mosley's body is gone.
Body is gone.
Yeah, I just said that. But his wallet... There's a wallet in the drawer. Must have fallen from Mosley's jacket when the body was moved. Okay, so we now have Mosley's wallet. Gabriel opens the wallet and finds some ID belonging to Mosley and an American's repressed card. Mosley's American repressed card. Credit. What a concept. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit the button to get out of here. Alright, well, our next step, and admittedly this one is a fairly lateral leap,
Where
if
have
not a
you
logical
been? I was
one.
worried about you.
For good reason, apparently.
What happened? Do you need a doctor?
Nothing you want to know about, and no, just some aspirin.
Gabriel, this is nuts. You have to get out of New Orleans.
No kidding.
Well, listen, Wolfgang called while you were out. He said, and I quote, "Tell Gabriel that I found what I was looking for. It's time for me to do my duty. Schloss Ritter is his now." Now call me crazy, but I don't think that's good news.
Not for Uncle Wolfie, no.
What are you gonna do?
If I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Okay, so clearly we need to get to Schloss Ritter and figure out what Wolfgang has figured out. Well, how are we supposed to get to Germany, you ask? Well,
I have a number for a travel agent on that phone book page if I need to call them.
yeah. They spell it out right for you.
Didn't Grace say you had to dial 011 first to get international?
And we can, in fact, do that just to check with the lady we've been hearing who is at Schloss Ritter.
Guten Tag, Sie haben Schloss Ritter erreicht.
Let me speak to Uncle Wolfgang, please.
Ah, Herr Knight. He cannot come to speak here.
What do you mean?
I cannot get him. Sorry. Goodbye.
But
Well, that was rude. You could at least say he left. Alright, but yes, in the original game we had to remember, oh, hey, that page from the yellow pages, or the white pages, or whatever it was, has the See the World Travel Agency on it. In totally the wrong place if this were actually the yellow pages, but
Hello, See the World Travel Agency. How may I help you?
yeah, Anderson, India, get me out of here. Rittersburg, Germany.
how much for a trip to Rittersburg, Germany?
Rittersburg, Germany. Hold on, let me look that up. I can fly you into Munich. That's the closest airport to Rittersburg. You can rent a car from there or take the train. Let's see, the best price I can see for the flight is $1,400. What would you like to do?
Charge it!
Charge it to my Americans repressed.
Yes, sir. And your name was?
Mosley.
Feeling a little guilty, Gabriel gives the travel agent Mosley's card number, as informed he can pick up his tickets at the New Orleans airport. And we can just jump to the airport from here, but let's leave this way so we get our nice little touching scene with Grace.
Goodbye, Gracie.
Good luck. Let me know what's going on, will you?
Of course. Are you gonna be okay here by yourself?
I'll be fine. Just fix this, okay?
I'm trying, Gracie.
Alright, so got the airport right there. Gabriel picks up his ticket at the airport and boards a plane for Munich. Dun 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 dun. And another little change from the original game. They made the entrance to Schloss Ritter look more like it did in Gabriel Knight 2.
Hello, my name is Knight. Gabriel Knight.
Herr Knight! Oh, kommen Sie bitte herein. I mean, come in, please, Herr Knight. I was not expecting you. Has Wolfgang sent you here?
Uncle Wolfgang? No, I came to see him. Isn't he here?
No, he is gone. I'm sorry. You came all this way.
Well, you could have told me that when I
No,
called.
That's all I need.
Herr Knight, Wolfgang told me all about you and gave me instructions for you to feel welcome here.
How welcome?
Please, this is your home. You are a Ritter, no? I'm just doing some work. I will continue and you may make yourself comfortable. If there's anything you need, please ask me. You may use Wolfgang's bedroom. It is at the top of the stairs.
Thank you, miss.
You may call me Gerda, Herr Knight.
So, yes, they've changed the interior of Schloss Ritter a fair bit for this remake. Put it more in line with the set that they used for the second Gabriel Knight game, The Beast Within. And it's a fun little trivia point just to note that they modernized it a little bit, because originally Gerda was wearing this, Bavarian peasant girl outfit, and now she is wearing, much more modern clothing. I think we have enough time to talk to her. And I do love how she said, oh, again, one, I tried calling, you could have told me that Wolfgang left. Of course, Grace already told us that Wolfgang said he was leaving, so let's go ahead and talk to Gerda. Gerda is fresh-faced and quite attractive.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, of course.
Tell me what you know about Schattenjägers.
As Wolfgang may have told you, Schattenjäger means shadow hunter. The Ritter family have always been Schattenjäger. It is a kind of priesthood, though not as restrictive as most.
Tell me about Wolfgang.
What would you like to know?
Where do you think Wolfgang went?
I don't know, but I have a feeling he has gone off to be Schattenjäger again. He is too old for such chasing around. His heart is very weak. He has not left this castle for 5 years, and now this?
Do you know when he'll be back?
I only pray he will be back. Before he left, he said Schloss Ritter now belongs to Gabriel. It worried me so to hear him say that. I'm afraid Wolfgang knew he would never return.
What's Wolfgang like?
Wolfgang is a truly wise and good man, the best I have ever known. But his life has been so full of disappointments.
What kind of disappointments?
His only son died in infancy, so there was no one to carry on the family line. And the family's financial troubles have been hard on him. Wolfgang wanted to do so much for the world, but it was all he could do to just hold on to Schloss Ritter. He has not left his mark as he wished to.
What is your relationship with Wolfgang?
Herr Knight, my relationship with your uncle is really none of your business.
You're right, Gerda. I apologize. Forget I asked.
Yeah, the fact that she got that offended at it kind of tells you what their relationship was. And that is made quite clear in The Beast Within, that she was more than just an assistant.
Can you show me Wolfgang's library?
How do you know about his library?
When we talked on the phone, he said he was going to do some research in his library. I thought maybe if I saw what he was researching...
Ah, yeah, a good idea, Herr Knight. But I'm afraid I cannot show you the library. You see, I have never been in it. Only a Schattenjäger can enter the library.
I see. Just tell me anything.
Wolfgang has dedicated his entire life to the role of Schattenjäger. He's not had a very happy life, but I've done my best to provide him with a little comfort.
Oh my.
Just tell me.
He thought he was the last of the Ritter line until he found out about you. He knows the history of the Ritter family from many centuries past. He is a good man, a strong man. I am fond of him.
Oh no.
As you like, Herr Knight.
Tell me something about Schloss Ritter.
Schloss Ritter has stood for many centuries. No one knows how long. It was once the pride of Bavaria, but now it is in disrepair. Wolfgang received offers to open the castle for tourists. He has resisted, though, even though the castle is in desperate need of repairs. To him, this ground is sacred.
Tell me something.
The castle has many, many rooms and passages, Herr Knight. Most have been closed off and are decaying in the dark and damp. Only a few rooms have been kept up due to the cost.
Didn't Wolfgang mention a library?
Yes, we covered this.
There's a library, but I've never been in it. There are places in the castle where only the master is allowed to go.
Oh my.
Tell me something about Schloss Ritter.
Schloss Ritter is the center from which the Schattenjäger have always gone out to battle the forces of evil.
Tell me something about...
I can tell you what they say in the village, what I heard when I was small. To the villagers, the Ritters are a little, how do you say, tragic, to be pitied. They say that the Ritters were chosen by God to fight evil. But something happened. One of them was cursed, and so the Ritters lost the way. They struggle still, but like a lame dog, you see, without the power or magic they once had.
Tell me what you know about...
Each Schattenjäger passes on his knowledge to a younger man in the Ritter line when the time is right.
Tell me what you know about Schattenjägers.
I am sure Wolfgang meant for you to take his place someday as Schattenjäger.
Tell me something about the Ritter family.
There are legends of how powerful the family once was, of some of their mighty deeds, of the richness of the castle and, in turn, Rittersberg itself. But at the end of the 17th century, that all changed. Since then, the Ritters and Rittersberg have been in decline.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Wolfgang is the only one who would know about that.
So, what do you do when you're not puttering around the castle?
Every day, I go to Rittersberg to do the daily shopping and visit my friends.
Have you worked here long?
For the past 4 years.
What's it like in Rittersberg?
It is very peaceful and quiet. I'm sure you will find it like a vacation, yeah?
Somehow I doubt this is going to be a vacation. This place is so quiet. Doesn't that bother you at all?
I love it here in Schloss Ritter. Even the silence feels like home to me.
Tell me something about yourself.
I was born in Rittersberg.
Tell me something.
I am not well traveled, but Wolfgang has been kind and has tutored me in many subjects. It was from him I learned to speak English. He must have sensed you were coming, Herr Knight, and that you would have need of me.
Tell me something about yourself.
I am very devoted to my position here with Wolfgang.
Tell me something.
I love Rittersberg. No place on earth could be as beautiful.
All right, well, that is Gerda. So that leaves us to explore this castle. And that is what we shall do next time. We'll see you then.